Hello and greetings from Waliczka near Krakow in Poland once again. I'm here to try to keep this brief and just note that this arrived last week. Alternative TV's Direct Action Special Edition CD. The CD version of their last album, which was released on vinyl through Fourth Dimension Records in late 2023. So this version includes an extra track and landed last week. I'll actually get a better copy of this. Yeah, there's one where you can actually see the disc. So there you are, and that's what's behind the disc, the ATV logo as it presently stands. And as I said, this arrived last week, the beginning of last week, last Tuesday actually, and I've been posting them ever since. So all the people that pre-ordered this and ordered directly since will have their copies on the way now or during the next couple of days. I've still got some more packages to send out, but I'm nearly there with all the direct orders. There you go. So Alternative TV Direct Action Special Edition, another homage to Whitehouse's Great White Death, and this time specifically the reissue of their 1985 album that appeared on Susan Lawley in 1997, I think, 96, 97. So mid-90s anyway, the reissue. And this, as with the vinyl version of Direct Action, is a homage to Whitehouse. And anybody that knows Mark Perry quite well or has been following his interviews or whatever will know he's a massive Whitehouse fan. And maybe just to emphasize this, there's even a dedication, thanks to William Bennett in the CD itself, on the inside sleeve. So Mark Perry loves Whitehouse and lots of that early power electronic stuff. He likes all kinds of stuff. And power electronics is just one of his passions. But this music, I don't know if you can hear any of it in the background. Maybe here and there you can hear shades of that kind of influence, but not directly. It's kind of more from Mark's love of improvisation and kind of raw and crude electronics merging with other instrumentation as well. Obviously it's not Mark Perry on his own, it's with Dave Morgan, Ruth Tidmarsh, Cos Chapman and Gareth. I always forget his name. Sorry about this, if anyone's paying attention. Gareth Matthews. So several people helping Mark there. In fact, I think Mark's not even on one track. But anyway, the CD version was released in an edition of 400, and I've got about 80 copies left already 1 week later. Obviously, I've sent copies out to Mark and to my main distributor, Cargo Records, and copies are going out to other little mail orders and what have you. But I'm down to around 80 copies at the moment. So I think, in another couple of weeks, it will be, a different story again. So copies are going out. I am pushing it. But I did 600 copies of the album, the vinyl version, and I've still got copies of that hanging around. I've got about 30 or 40 left here. I don't know how many copies, are at Cargo or wherever else, but you can still find it quite easily. So it's a kind of slow burn release, and I've always seen it as a kind of sister or cousin to Vibing Up the Senile Man, that fantastic album that Mark and ATV did in the very start of the 80s. So it's very much, or 79, I think. I should know, shouldn't I? But I've forgotten. 79, 80, 79, I think. It's very much a sister to that, and it's not being sold as as thus. It's not being sold as a kind of relative of Vibing Up the Senile Man, but it certainly sounds like it's come from that same sphere, let's say. I'll just turn the music down because it is a little distracting. I always, as anybody who watches these uploads, I very often start with some music in the background, and it kind of puts me off of what I want to say, and I ramble enough as it is, so I don't need things getting in the way of my train of thought. But anyway, great album. Very happy to have done this. Mark Perry would like to talk about this album and some other related work, I think. He asked last week whether we could do another chat here on YouTube, so I'm very happy to do that. And I think when his CDs reach him, or the first batch that I sent him, when they reach him, hopefully during the next few days, we can set up a chat on Zoom probably, and do another upload here on the channel. I've said before, I do want to expand this channel, and that means doing more regular uploads and maybe more in the way of reviews. I'm always happy to talk about other people's releases, as well as my own, and I'm happy to do more chats here. Nip Mott, I think, will happily do one once the Nip Mott book and CD are finally ready to publish, and I think we're getting closer to that. I thought it would be ready last year, but no, it's not been achievable because the labels have become really busy for me, and when I'm not working, doing my teaching work, my English teaching work, or proofreading or whatever, or dealing with things related to the family and home life and everything else, I'm generally pushing the labels, promoting releases, packing orders, etc., and that's my life generally. So I get very little time now for writing, and I love writing, and I just don't have the time that I would like to have for it. And the book projects that I've got hanging in the wings are dependent on me finishing some writing. But I am getting there, step by step, getting there. But anyway, Nip Mott might be another person I'll have a chat with fairly soon. Mark Perry, Nip Mott, and I'd like to break away from purely people connected with the labels or the books or whatever that I've published. I would also like to chat about music with other people. I'd love to have a chat with Will Sargent of the Bunnymen. I think the Weirdest Fish album is just about to be reissued. Fantastic album that he did in, again, 79, 80, 81 maybe. Nice, electronic album. I'd love to have a chat with him because he's a huge music fan, and I think he's an interesting person to talk with. But I don't know how you track him down. But yeah, he'd be a good guest, let's say, and plenty of other people as well. People who run labels and whatever. So I do want to expand this. I really do. And I think maybe one of the best ways I can do it is just do more regular uploads like this. But I am mindful of the fact I ramble and repeat myself and, and don't always have a lot to say, really. So, or what I could say could be said in 5 minutes and, left at that. So, yeah. Anyway, the point is I would like to expand this. And I've got ideas. But Mark Perry will definitely be next, and we'll be chatting hopefully a little more about this and some of the ideas behind it and other ideas. Mark Perry will also be appearing with ATV at the fourth event, label event, I should say, Fourth Dimension label event in London at Cafe Otto again on the 25th of October this year. There'll be a link below for the tickets. So it's a Saturday, and it's ATV, Splintered, my group, and Kleistwahr and Graham Duff doing the sounds in between, DJing. Of course, Kleistwahr is higher status than Splintered, my group, but I think the dynamic of the evening will be better afforded by Splintered going on after, and I think Gary, to be honest, will feel more comfortable opening for the night, and then he can relax, So I think that's something he's stressed before, and I think he'll just do a short opening set, 20-25 minutes, and then so very different to the last event I did in London, where there were 4 artists. There'll be a little more space this time, and less pressure, and hopefully it will give Splintered a chance to do a 40-minute set rather than the usual 30 minutes. Our music does need a little more time to breathe, so that's where I'm coming from anyway. So although the idea of us doing 25-30 minutes is also quite welcome from my perspective, since I'm organising the event. Anyway, and I'll be dealing with all kinds of I'll be spinning enough plates that evening as it is, but 40 minutes will be good. Maybe one song should be instrumental, so spare my voice, my delicate voice. What else? Maybe in relation to the CD, something I should draw attention to again is the fact that I've got an ongoing CD deal, 7 CDs for £37.50 plus a nominal amount for shipping. That adds up to about £45, I think. And what that does is gets you the latest CD, or you can start with Reverse Images Towards the Nocturnal Sun that came out late last year. You can't get the compilation Never Say When, the Broken Flag reissue that appeared about 5-6 weeks ago, because it's sold out from here. It's sold out in 2.5 weeks from me, and I did 500 of those as well. It went really quick. Shame that most things don't go like that. That's all I'll say. But it went really fast. I'm out of them, so I can't include that in the deal, but I can include the previous CD, Reverse Image Towards the Nocturnal Sun. You can start with that. You can add that. You can start with 2 CDs if you want, or you can choose one or the other to start the deal, or you can start with the next CD, which will be my other group's next album theme, namely Theme, and our Meditations on Space, Volume 1. That will be coming next. And then there will be the Kleistwahr double CD of Winter and Music for Zeitgeist Fighters. This also includes this set includes extra tracks as well. So and all double CDs in this deal count as one CD in the deal. So you'll be getting 2 albums for the price of one, and a reduced price of one at that. So yeah, by all means, take out the deal. If you're interested in ATV, or if you're maybe even a little uncertain and think, oh, okay, well, if I take out the deal, I can get theme, I can maybe go back and have the reverse image, which is a beautiful album, beautiful electronics album, absolutely fantastic. You can have that, you can have the ATV, you can take a chance with this if you're a little unsure. You can get the theme album, you can get the Kleistwahr, and whatever I do after these. Oh, there's a Tabata Mitsuru album in the wings. There's also a Fallen Sun album in the wings as well. So there you are. And then there'll be other albums coming at some point in the near future. I won't be including the Bass Communion and Model Bow or Medel, Model Bow or Bow, Model Bow CD collaboration, because that will be presented in quite a lavish package. Again, and quite expensive. It will be quite expensive to produce, so I can't include that in the deal. But all the other CDs that are just digipacks or whatever will be included. And I think the 7 CD deal is a really good way of supporting the labels and taking a chance on some music that you might not otherwise want to take a chance on. If you like myself, like CDs, if you enjoy physical format releases, and of course, especially CDs. So it's a CD deal. What else? I suppose before I finish, I should mention the long overdue When Worlds Collide double album with Edward Caspel, ATV, Final, Kleistwahr, Splintered, Sean Organ, Nip Mott, Band of Pain, Sinestra, Ashtray Navigations, Final. Did I say Final? All of these groups, all of these artists, Bass Communion are on there as well. That release, which should have happened last year and then got pushed back because of the Bass Communion album, got pushed back again because of some financial hurdles with the labels. That will be pressed into, literally pressed. It will be pressed ahead. It will be shoved forward next week. It's been at the test pressing stage for a long, long time, but we'll now be pushing the release ahead next week. I just need to do some adjustments to the insert, because everybody who contributed to the recent fundraiser will be given a credit on the insert of that, of this compilation album, whether they like it or not. And they won't get a free copy of the album, I'm afraid, apart from the ones that were kind of sent a lot of money and will now get every release that I ever do again. But aside from those few, everybody will be given a credit. But I can't afford to send out a double LP to everybody. But yeah, you'll be given a credit, and if you want to see that, you have to buy a copy. So if you haven't already pre-ordered it, that will be the next thing, and that will be followed vinyl-wise by the Extended Network double album soon after. And then there's also the Richard Young's LP happening late summer, along with Edward Caspel's the Sympathy Portal. It's a 2022 album by him, but we're going to do a limited edition vinyl version, only 300, and available in the shop to pre-order now. So if you're interested in that, get in quick. I'm not doing, I think we did 400 of the Tales album, and even Edward said, oh, it's probably too many, and I've still got a few copies hanging around, but 300 only of this. So get in fast. I think they'll, especially once it actually appears, they'll go fairly quick. So that's what's happening with the labels. Lots of book news, as I alluded to earlier, but I think I'll save that for the next upload. I mostly wanted to just push this time and talk about the CD deal and the Cafe Otto event, and that's what I've done. And I'll be back here again soon. And in the meantime, I'll go back to my Yorkshire tea. And I definitely need to get a bloody haircut. Not had chance in the last couple of weeks because yet again my daughter is sick and at home, and this is the second week she's at home, and the second time this year. So by the end of this week she'll have been at home for a month of this year so far, instead of going to kindergarten, and it's not really helping with my writing time and everything else. But at least I'm staying on top of orders just about, and promoting what I'm supposed to with the labels. So yeah, if you did pre-order this or order it directly in the last few days, expect it soon. Copies are being posted out, and the last batch will go out tomorrow. But thank you very much. Oh, also, again, as I said in the last upload, thank you to everybody who helped with the fundraising campaign. It was absolutely phenomenal, mind blowing. I can't believe how many people expressed their warmth and support for the labels, and I'm now able to move forward. The campaign finished. I haven't actually closed it. I need to close it. It's another thing that I keep forgetting about. No other reason. It actually finished the campaign late last week, and now we're coming up to halfway through this week. And I'm doing this on a Tuesday, but it's something I just keep forgetting to deal with in the evening. But I need to close it. I don't need any more support. Maybe I'll be back again with another campaign in another couple of months. I don't think so. I'm joking, so don't worry. We went beyond the target, and I'm really, really grateful. So I very much appreciate it. But thanks a lot. If you made it to the end of this, we're up to 23 minutes. That's enough. I've said enough. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Back soon. Cheers. Bye.